7:17 on your Sunday morning as you get your day started. Maybe you're heading out to worship service in a few minutes or a few hours. And
yeah,
no umbrella needed today, Lindsey. Kind of
no.
a beautiful copycat of what we saw yesterday.
Very much so, very much so. And temperatures that will be perhaps even a little warmer than yesterday. It was quite hot in the sun. We got up to 85. I think we're going to head toward 87 today. And we've been keeping our eye on what's going on out in the tropics for the potential of any little bit of rain from some remnant system that could potentially impact us. And with the latest model runs that came down throughout the course of the day yesterday, really does not look like that's going to end up being the case for us. So we're still watching Hurricane Umberto. That is a Cat 4. This is going to now take more of a northerly track and then head back out into the Atlantic. We are watching Tropical Depression at 9 now with a weak center circulation. This as well looked like it was lifting northward and potentially impacting coastal Carolina, bringing some heavy rainfall and a flooding threat there. Now the track of this tropical system makes it look like it's more so going to once again head back out into the Atlantic. Check this out. This is Tropical Depression 9 as it is forecast to become a Cat 1 hurricane by the early morning hours this upcoming Tuesday. Now coastal Carolina is still going to get a decent amount of rainfall in advance of that whole storm complex moving in, but then it's going to take basically a right turn back out into the Atlantic and interact with what is now Umberto out in the middle of the ocean and not have much of an impact on the coast as well as anywhere north of there. So this stays a Cat 1 forecast through Thursday morning before it continues on that more track, I should say that easterly track out back into the Atlantic. So for us, what we thought potentially could bring a little bit of some light rain looks like that's no longer going to be the case. This is all going to stay at bay off the eastern coast, and for us here locally, everything stays quiet. In fact, high pressure that's in control now going to continue to get even higher, which means even more of a lack of cloud cover and rainfall here locally. So only calling for that 10% chance of rain early Wednesday morning. That's about it. And I think most of those rain chances stay at bay to our south. So we've got a dry forecast and temperatures that will continue to heat back up. Feeling like summer for today, mostly sunny skies as we warm back to the 70s, eventually into the upper 80s with a forecast high of 87 in Indy today. 87 all the way up in Kokomo as well. If you're coming downtown for the Fever, Game 4, 3 o'clock for that tip at Gainbridge, temperatures will again be in the mid to upper 80s. Now, everything's going to be hot during the course of the day because of the sunshine, the lack of a wind really, and the fact that we've got a dry ground. I want to talk about radiational cooling because we are in the prime setup for this. Everything heats up during the day, and you might notice the difference between how hot it gets in the afternoon versus some of these cooler mornings that we deal with. Well, when the sun goes down, we lose a lot of that heat back up into the atmosphere with a clear sky and the fact that we have a dry ground. So we're seeing a very large range of temperatures from overnight lows for most of us that will be in the upper 50s to once again looking at highs back in the upper 80s for your extended forecast and temperatures. Things look like they'll switch up a bit as we get into the middle part of the week, but really not looking at much in the way of rainfall through the start of next weekend with highs falling back into the 70s.